I don't know if you can see this or not, but I want to clarify. Look, actual tears. Like, actual tears! What's up, Shadowhunters, Angels, and Downworlders alike, and welcome to First Thoughts, where I discuss my first thoughts on each episode of Shadowhunters. Yes, we're in a different setting today, and that is because my friend has been staying over, and I don't think she would appreciate it if I woke her up at like 9 in the morning just to record a video squealing about my first thoughts on Shadowhunters. So today I am in my lovely mother's bedroom. It's very small and not very good for balance, but it will do. What an emotional roller coaster. What a ride of an episode. Wow. If I would say that was the best episode of Shadowhunters I've ever watched. And I would say it trumps the Malik episode too, because that was so emotional. I was in tears as I showed you. It was amazing. Most of my first thoughts are going to be more relative to the main things that have happened in this episode. I'll discuss the smaller plot points in Fair and Unbiased, like the werewolves and Simon's mother and Raphael showing up again, because I'm just bowled over with the way they've portrayed the Parabatai bond. At first I was a bit iffy, because the first thing Jace did when he got the phone was ask about Clary, and it was like, really, dude? Can you not feel that there's something wrong? And I was sitting going, oh no, this is going downhill pretty fast. But as soon as he knew, it was like, right, gotta go get Alec, nothing else matters. And talk about having a bad day. This was like Alexander and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day in TV form, legitimately, because Alec's name is Alexander. So it's like everyone was working in their power just to make Alec die. Like, they were distracting Jace from getting to him. The Lictor was being an ass. It was all just very like, nah, like, we don't want Jace near him. And you're like, Jace is the only one who can help him. What are you guys doing? And oh my god, it was very frustrating, but like very like, I don't know if I'd say understandable. I can understand the werewolves being angry at Jace because they thought that he killed Gretel. And as I said in Fair and Unbiased, I'm glad that they brought back to that. Like, it wasn't just, oh, well, she's dead. There was a reason for her dying. And they did bring it back. And I still don't think Clary and Jace really understand the gravity of the situation that they left her behind. But I'm glad that it's referenced. And he did take a beating for it. So I think Jace can be semi-pardoned, because fuck was he given a rough time. Let's talk flashbacks, okay? We fall victim again to bad child actor syndrome. I wouldn't say these guys were horrible, but they weren't good at the same time. In my opinion, especially the girl who played Izzy, she had like a gob on her, like, the entire time she was talking to Alec. I mean, when I heard a rumour that we were going to have Isabel finding out about Alec's feelings for Jace, I thought it was going to be a really, like, emotional scene and it was going to be nice. But she had, like, a grumpy face on her. Did no one else notice that? She was sort of like, oh, you'll find somebody who loves you heart and soul. And, like, right, Isabel, you could seem a bit more, you know, softer. Maybe not, like grumpy. I was just like, what's wrong with you? Smile, my god. And I'm not, the boy actors were very, they weren't bad. Like, none of them were awful, but they were very off-putting. It was like, there was just something that didn't click right. It felt very forced. So, I wasn't a fan of that, and I kind of had an idea as soon as I found out that they were doing flashbacks. I was going to be like, right, these actors are going to be mad, aren't they? Shit, it's going to be like Jocelyn's actress of her younger self all over again, and that pathetic no that she shouted when she was on top of the roof. It's like, well done, you put like in so much effort into that no. I almost believed you. Malik was very potent in this episode, and I mean that in the best of ways. We got an episode with some scenes, an episode without any of it, and in this episode, where it was just from start to finish, well, not from start to finish Malik, it was more about the Parabatai bond than it was Malik, but every interaction where Magnus was there, it was just so powerful because you could see how desperate he was to get Alec back to life. And there was some of that dynamic where the Shadowhunters were being like, "Oh, you're a warlock. You're downwater. I don't want you here. Look, you're not helping him. Bugger off." Like, are they aware that they're dating? Are they aware that Alec's in a relationship with Magnus? I feel like they probably do. I feel like word reached them about what happened at the wedding with Lydia, but they're just being dicks, to be honest. When they were just like, "Oh yeah, we let this warlock in." You're like, he's not just any old warlock. He's dating him. Did you forget? Or are you just trying to ignore that? I think you're just trying to ignore it. Don't worry, we'll remind you. But Magnus was having none of it. I loved the badass scene, and God help me, I know people love Raj, but oh my god, that scene where Magnus was angry was so badass. We finally got to see him use his magic in combat. Most of the time now it's been healing and just conjuring random shit, doing poofy stuff on top of drinks, but now it was using his magic in combat and proving that no one fucks with Magnus Bane. And I'm glad that the effects got better, because in the trailer you could see the string of Raj going whoop, but I didn't spot it this time. It might still be there, I don't know, but they added a bit better effect to cover most of it, so thankfully they had the foresight to notice that there was something wrong. But yeah, I didn't see the string. The Sleeping Beauty theme was interesting, and I say theme, it was more just mentioned, but it was immediate foreshadowing. As soon as Magnus was just like, he's not going to be woken up by true love's first kiss, I was just like, that's foreshadowing. And it was. He tried it. It was his last resort, and of course it didn't work. At first I was thinking, don't make it happen, don't do it, don't, that would be awful, don't. But they didn't, thank God. Imagine how cheesy it would have been if they had made that be it. I mean, they barely went on a date yet. How could it be true love's first kiss? I don't believe in that stuff. I want to see the dating process. I want to see them be in a relationship. I don't want it just to be love. And as hard as it was for him not to wake up when Magnus kissed him, I'm pretty fucking sure Magnus understood. Like, it was just a last resort, a desperate measure, something that he knew wasn't going to work, but he wanted to try anyway. And it was very emotional, especially when he was sitting like by his side and being like, come back to me, please. That was the first time the tears started for me. It was just like, oh God, my Lord. And it was just so emotional. I do not ship Jalek. Getting that out there right now. I do not ship Jalek. But this episode had me feeling the feels. On a brotherly spectrum, people. Let's just clear that up. I don't hate on people who ship Jalek, but to me, it's like incest. They grow up like brothers, so to me, they're brothers. To them, they're brothers. So to me, it's just a bit gross. But I don't judge. If you like them, you like them. I was feeling it on such a brotherly spectrum that I was nearly crying at the end. It was amazing, and it was amazingly acted, and it was just so, I need to think of another word other than amazing. I was in awe of it. Especially when we thought Alec was dead. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I knew he wasn't dead. I think most of us knew they weren't killing off Alec. But even then, seeing the moment where Jace believed that he was dead, it was just, it hit me in the chest. It was like proper blow, like, oh my God. And to be fair, I was a bit surprised because Isabel, like, there was a moment where they were all supposed to believe he was dead, and Isabel was just having like tears. It's like I thought she'd be a bit more like upset, like not even like a sob, anything, or maybe she had the foresight too. Maybe she was like, nah, he's not dead. So that was a bit disappointing, but what can we do? kudos to all the actors in this episode. Kudos mainly to Dominic Sherwood and Matthew Daddario, and as sub kudos, Emery Tobia and Harsham Jr. Sorry, Catherine McNamara, but you weren't really involved in the really emotional part. You cried a bit at the end, but it was just like you were part of a different plotline that wasn't really supposed to strike you in the heart anyway. But yeah, they were amazing in this episode. Not that they're not usually amazing, but this was just on a different level. This was just, I don't even know the words. I don't have the words for it. Like, this is literally me just after watching the episode. I like to film first thoughts right after I watch the episode, hence my bed hair. And it was just, I can't find any words for how much their acting struck me in this episode. It was all so perfect. And it makes me happy to see the Parabatai bond represented properly. As I've mentioned before, it wasn't exactly a big theme in the books. It was a big theme to be mentioned, but not a big theme to actually be acted upon. So getting to see that, and getting to see that brotherly bond, and getting to see what happens when someone gets hurt, what happens when someone is in danger, what happens when you know that your Parabatai might be dying, it was good. It was more than good. I don't know why good came to my word. Good's too generic a word. It was amazing. I know I've been using that word a lot, but it was great, and it was wonderfully written and wonderfully acted, and it was just a very beautiful scene, especially at the end. It had me choked up. It really did. And when Alec woke up and started talking, it was cheesy, okay, I get it. He finished the Parabatai oath and it was a bit cheesy, but who gives a shit? I was crying. It was beautiful. I can take a bit of cheese. There's a good type of cheese and a bad type of cheese. The bad type of cheese would have been if Magnus had kissed him and he woke up. The good kind of cheese is that it was just, he responded to what Jace was saying, and it was a bit like, but he still did it. And oh my god, as soon as they maybe have found a scratch of happiness, Victor Aldertree just walks in and just goes like, yeah, I'm coming to get you. And then Alec hasn't even been able to get up yet. He's still lying down, and he's just like, what's happening? And it's just like, oh, I'm getting arrested now, but it's okay. It's okay. You stay there. You relax. And it was just, oh, Victor, you're a hard man to love, but you're harder to hate. I still don't think that you're completely bad yet. I'm holding my cards out for you, but you're not doing a good job so far. I feel like we're going to get controversy with Izzy now. I feel like this deal that she's made with Victor Aldertree is going to come back and bite her in the ass, because it's because of the deal that she made that they found Jace. But if she hadn't have made the deal, Jace would never have gotten to Magnus's apartment. So it's turning into something where Alec was making decisions that he believed were for the greater good in season 1. It seems that the roles have sort of reversed, and it's now Izzy making decisions that she believes are for the greater good. And they are for the greater good, but there's just a backfiring element that's going to probably come back at her. And I hope upon hope that it doesn't hurt her too badly, because I love Isabel, and she's like, don't, she's just misunderstood. Her brother was hurt, and you were going, no, Jason, we need to find Jason, lock him up. He's like, but Alec needs Jason. Like, we don't care, he's a traitor, blah, 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 blah. So I can see where she took this last resort, and I just hope it doesn't hurt her too bad. I really do. Overall, a very strong episode, like legitimately really strong. As I said, I would argue that it's one of the best that we've seen, and just beautifully acted, beautifully written, just beautiful. It was just beautiful, and I'll discuss all the more nitty-gritty details obviously in Fair and Unbiased, and it'll probably be quite long, because I know First Thoughts is quite long this time around, because there's just so much to talk about. So I'll talk about the werewolves, I'll talk about Maya, I'll talk about Luke, I'll talk about I'll talk about Raphael, I've got to talk about him, oh my god, and I'll talk about Simon and his mother. So my first thoughts were generally just like, Parabatai, Malik, oh my god, so emotional. But I'll take a step back, I'll take proper notes and discuss in detail, like, the other stuff that was going on. Don't worry, I'm not just taking Parabatai and Malik out of this, but I can't help that my first thoughts are like, so emotional, tears, crying, a mess in general, so excited to talk about this that she didn't even brush her hair. So, I will talk about the other stuff as well in Fair and Unbiased. I'm not just going to be like, oh, the only important things that happened was Malik and Parabatai. So I will talk about all that, because there's a lot to get through in this episode. So I will definitely get to that for Fair and Unbiased. So, yeah, my thoughts were very jumbled and confused. I said the word amazing a lot, but they were my genuine, raw first thoughts of this episode. So I hope you liked it. I hope you liked the new setting. I don't know if I'll be recording Fair and Unbiased in this setting, but we shall see. So I'll see you in Fair and Unbiased, Shadowhunters, Angels, and Downloaders alike, and until then, don't let the promo for episode 4 scare you too much. It's scaring me, but I'm hoping that it's not going to be as bad as we think it will.
Shadowhunters believe in the law as absolute. They can never conceive of one of their own going astray. 19 years ago, their lack of vision allowed the circle to almost decimate